Okwajima from the University of Cape Coast and Field Geography students. Today I present to you research proposal. We want to talk about research proposal, things that are found in the research proposal and the component of research proposal. Today we'll be delving into the nitty-gritties of research proposal. Basically, we are going to look at the format of research proposal that is universally accepted based on your university or your college. Maybe some of the components may be rearranged, but that doesn't mean it doesn't fit. To talk about research proposal, this is the outline for research proposal. We look at the cover page, then you zoom into introduction. With the introduction, you look at the background to the study, then the problem statement, objective of the study, hypothesis or research questions. Then we look at the delimitation and limitation of the study, then significance or rationale of the study. Then we look at the literature review. Here we focus much attention on the theories and the conceptual framework. Then we delve into methodology, the study area, the study design, population, sampling procedure and sample size, data source, and what have you. Then lastly, we will look at the budget and the references of a proposal. This is an outlook of a cover page, and normally it talks about your details, your topic, and the contacts of the writer. When you're looking at the background of the study, this is just an introduction given to every viewer and everyone reading your article. So it should impress the person to understand the point that you are coming from, understand the subject of the study. So we look at it from the global or the worldly perspective, then we break it down to your continent, then we come to your country, then lastly we come to your region or your study area, how that subject has been dealt with. Some people can look at it from the historical approach. That is when you are dealing with a study that is historical, maybe the cause of HIV. Then people can also look at the importance of such subjects. Then people can also look at the contextual view, whether it's a sociological perspective, whether it's about a geographical perspective or what have you. And others will also like to mix it up. Whatever be the case, it should be a logical flows through. So in dealing with HIV, people want to look at the historical background about what causes HIV, what brought about HIV. Then you got to know from what caused HIV with a world global perspective. Then people also like to look at it from instance, Africa, what causes HIV, what is the history behind HIV, what do people even think about HIV. Then you look at that one, then you limit it to your country. For instance, if you are looking at Ghana, talk about HIV in Ghana, how people perceive HIV to be. Then you will limit it to your study area. So if you are studying it in Cape Coast or Kumasi, you look at what they are also looking at it. Then you move on to the problem statement. Here is very important because you cannot conduct a study without having a problem. So what drives you to conduct a study? Here, when you talk about research problem, then mathematically, it is what is done minus the undone that gives the problem. So here you need to read literature to be able to identify the gap. And if you are able to identify a gap, then you elaborate on what has been done already about the problem or the gap. Then you tell us where you want to move to, where you want to solve your problem, or the direction that you want to look at. So for instance, if you are looking at the HIV, people have done a lot of work about causes and effect of HIV on the bereaved student or the bereaved infected people, then cause of HIV on a lot of things. But you want to look at effect of HIV on productivity. That's the direction that you want to look at. So problem, you need to state the problem clearly and it should be directional, because that gives the direction to your study. Then we move on to objective. After being able to point your research problem, then you formulate your objective. Here when we talk about objective, we are looking at the purpose for which a study is being carried out. There are two types of research objectives. Thus, we look at the main and the specific objective. The main objective is the overall goal or the aim for conducting the study, while the specific objective look at the short-term goals, and in achieving such short-term goals, it will help us to achieve the overall goal. In stating the objective, we look at some action words such as to assess, examine, to determine, to evaluate, to measure, to estimate, to explore, to ascertain. These are all some of the action words that are being used to describe research objective. We move on to research hypothesis. In some study, it's either you use research objective or a research hypothesis, and some also like to merge it together. For instance, when you are looking at it from the economics and the business, some people would like to state the hypothesis even instead of the research objective is accepted. When you talk about hypothesis, we are looking at uneducated guesses. That's the tentative statement that needs to be tested for confirmation. It is predictive statement about the relationship between variables. Therefore, such predictive statement needs to be tested, and we therefore gather data to accept or reject what people are saying about the relationship between such variables. We have two types of hypothesis. That's the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis always try to let us know that there is no significant difference between the variables that we are looking at, while the alternative strives that there is a significant difference between the variables that we are looking at. So for instance, looking at our example, we have there is no significant difference between the sex and the use of green space, whilst the alternative gives that there is a significant difference between sex and the use of green space. Therefore, research of a hypothesis gives the direction to the research as to where to move it to. It also sensitizes the researcher about key areas that he or she should look at. Then it also guides the thinking process. Normally, research hypotheses are being helped or are being guided by theories and experiences. We then look at research questions. When you talk about research questions, we are talking about to indicate gap or uncertainty in our knowledge about a specific area. That is to find out something you don't know already. These are questions and interaction statements that are derived from the research problem, so that the solution will be sorted to solve the research problem. This must also be clear and concise, and this must also match the specific objective. For instance, if you have research objective 1 to be as to determine the causes of HIV/AIDS in Ghana, your research question for that objective should be, what are the causes of HIV/AIDS in Ghana? We are therefore looking at delimitation of the study. When you talk about delimitation, we are looking at the outline that the researcher has restricted him or herself on the study. Thus, this section outlines the restriction imposed on the study. It is a statement of the limit or scope or boundary of the investigation. It provides information concerning who, what, where research design, research instrument to be used, and how many. It determines the boundary of the research in hand. It specifies the geographical boundary or limit of the study and the time involved. But what we are talking about is that they are concerned with those parts of the topic or problem that normally might have been considered in the study, but however, because of the limitation of time, physical capacity, and other resources that didn't fit or the researchers seem to have coped with, he or she will try to limit him or herself or the study to a particular research area or a particular study area with a particular research design and a number of people, and this is termed as delimitation. Know that there is a difference between delimitation and limitation. We will have it in our video on delimitation and limitation. However, let us touch something on limitation. When you talk about limitation here, we are talking about factors or situations encountered in a study that will limit or not permit a researcher to generalize the findings or the results of the study. This also considers the weaknesses in research design and data collection instruments. Research dissertation, project work, and thesis are limited by time, money, data type and source, language, data analysis, and other resources and logistics. Therefore, this student need to also tell us about how they can cater for such limitation, and this limitation are also placed there so that students or researchers will then draw pragmatic measures in order to cater for such limitation or set challenges in order to come up with the best of the study. From here, we are looking at the significance of the study. Why is it that we are conducting such study? In conducting every study, there is the need and there is the essence of you going out or carrying out such a study. So when you look at the significance of the study, it spells out the benefits that the individual or the organization, government, and the whole world at large will derive from the results or the findings of your study. Mostly, basic research add up to existing literatures or knowledge, but applied research helps us to solve a particular problem, and therefore, this is stated from the immediate environs to the largest environs, such as the people, that's the respondents who are involved, then to the town or the study area, then lastly to the key holders or the stakeholders and the policymakers. So in order to state a quality or a good significance of the study, you need to ask yourself certain questions, and such questions included: would the study discover new knowledge, or would the study add up to existing knowledge? Would the study benefit participants? Would it advance understanding or influence policy? Then last, you also look at: would the study fill gaps in the existing knowledge, or would it resolve current controversies in such knowledge or such field? These are some of the things that you need to consider when we are looking at the significance of the study. This will summarize the introduction part of the proposal. We are now moving on to the literature review. When you talk about literature review, then we want to look at how people have also conducted the study on the same or similar topic or area of interest. Therefore, we need to consult these materials and these literatures in order for us to provide the background for a larger work. And it also gives us much more than simple list of sources. It provides the context for the thesis. Therefore, researchers need to familiarize themselves with other research work. So by familiarizing yourself with other research work, then that you get to know the appropriate theories and the appropriate methodology that they use. And this one will also help you to be able to identify the gap in the literatures. It will also help you to establish the importance of the topic, and it will also help you to identify issues, variables that needs to be further tested. Therefore, in literature review, here for the proposal, you look at only the theoretical framework and the conceptual framework. Since this is a large body of knowledge that can take you for about 30 to about 150 pages, depending on the research that you are carrying out. Looking at the theoretical framework, this portion specifies the theories, paradigms underlying the study. It looks at the original developers and contributors as well as critiques from other authorities. It discusses concepts by focusing on their relationship, similarities and disparities. This one, it gives us the background, it gives us the framework. When we talk about the framework, it gives us the borders of the study. For you to conduct each study or any study, you need to understand the theories, the thinking behind such field. That one, if you are conducting a study on criminal cases, you need to understand the sociological perspective of it. You need to understand deviant theories concerning such crimes. And this one, anyone conducting a study from sociology will come up with a different sociological theories to back it, as well as anyone conducting anything on crime from geography will also come up with a spatial theories to talk about how crime can be differentiated with the space. We are therefore looking at the conceptual framework. The conceptual framework will say that it maps or connects the theme with various issues, variables and phenomena in the theories. After theories have been reviewed. You therefore understand and appreciate the relationship between one theory and the other, or one variable and the other. And with the theories and the objectives that will be set for your research study, you'll be able to tease out a conceptual framework that will also guide your study. This one will be a narrow border that will limit you to your study, that will let you understand, to give you a direction as to what to look out for, as to what methodology and what analytical method can I be used to undertake this study. And this one gives guidance and direction to the study and others. With this one,